Time to discuss Z moves and the Island Trial Challenge.
Pokemon! 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 Pokemon!
Hello everyone, I'm Dustin Benzel, and welcome to another Pokemon Sun and Moon discussion in regards to the August 1st information trailer. So of course in this particular video I want to talk about Z moves as well as the Island Trial Challenge. Now this video might be fairly long based on what you're seeing right now because I have a lot to go over, but I'll try and be as quick as I possibly can. But given that the paragraphs seem to add more to my previous video, I feel like this video is going to be longer than 20 minutes. Also, if you didn't see my other video, you will be hearing my computer fan. That's what you're hearing in the background, and because it's my computer, there's really nothing I could do to make the noise go away other than turning off the computer, but I can't record during that time, obviously. So let's, of course, move on in regards to this. So Z moves. Z moves are being introduced into the game, which is a very interesting concept. So Z moves are powerful and insane moves that can only be used once per battle, as well as having Z moves for every type. There are things that we, however, don't know, and I'll address them as questions, and there's 4 of them, I believe, and then I'll move on to talking about them of themselves. So, 1. Does the Pokemon need to have a Z move that matches its own typing, or can it just be about having the same type move within its moveset and the appropriate Z crystal? So, for example, can Greninja use a Psychic type Z move if it has extrasensory and as well as holding a Psychic Z crystal, and the Z ring also possesses the Psychic crystal? Number 2, are there more than one Z moves of a particular type? Will Z moves be physical, special, or both? Will it depend on the move within the moveset being upgraded to the Z move? Will Flamethrower and Flare Blitz share the same Z move, but its type of damage, physical or special, will depend on the move itself? And if it did, what if a Pokemon possesses both physical and special moves of that particular type, like Flamethrower and Flare Blitz, not bits? Will you be able to choose which move the Z move is modeled after? So, like I will discuss it later, but the fire type Z move is Inferno Overdrive, if I'm not mistaken. If it could be either physical or special, depending on the type of move that you have, would you be able to use it based off of Flamethrower, which does special damage, or Flare Blitz that does physical damage? So I guess we'll have to wait and see. So number 3, how much stronger are Z moves to regular moves? Do they possess base powers of 300, 400, or 500? Which would be ridiculous. Hopefully that's not the case, because that feels like a one-hit KO, although that might be what Z moves are, just one-hit KOing the opponent. So will type effectiveness come into play as it pertains to Z moves? I mean, it would seem like an obvious yes. Obviously, they would come in effect, but it honestly would make some sense for a move of a particular type to be so powerful that it overrides one's immunity to that particular Pokemon. So like a poison type Z move being so poisonous that it affects steel types, maybe? And then, of course, the second part of 4 is, on the subject of type effectiveness, what about abilities? Will a Pokemon with Levitate be affected by a ground-type Z move? Now, they seem like they might be obvious. Maybe I'm just overlooking at it. But I wonder if they're just so powerful that typing doesn't matter at all. Whether it's super effective or resistant, it just does full damage, end of discussion, or whatever. So what do we know about Z moves? They seem to be similar to how Mega Evolution works, only instead of having as many Mega Evolutions, Mega Stones as there are Pokemon that Mega Evolve, like for each Pokemon that Mega Evolves, they have a unique Mega Stone and basically one keystone within the Mega Ring that you can't really manipulate. If I read the information correct, there are 36 crystals for Z moves, 18 for the types for the Z ring that the trainer has, and then 18 for the Z crystals for each of the Pokemon that have. So then, of course, this leads me to ask a question. What if Z crystals are the ultimate upgrade to the Mega Bracelet or the Mega Ring or whatever, that now your Pokemon just need to hold a special crystal of its type to Mega Evolve? Like, for example, what if in order to Mega Evolve Charizard into Mega Charizard X, it needs to hold a Dragon Z crystal? Otherwise, a Fire or Flying Z crystal Mega evolves it into Y form. And for some Pokemon that change typings, in order to Mega Evolve, they need that specific Z crystal of that new typing that they have, like Ampharos. They need a Dragon type. Same with Sceptile, needing a Dragon type to Mega Evolve into their whatever. So it definitely would be interesting if that was the case. So anyway, back to what I was saying. There are 36 crystals, one crystal for the Z ring, and the other crystal to be held by the Pokemon. And of course, of the Z moves, is confirmed we have Gigavolt Havoc, which is electric type, Bloom Doom, which is the grass type, Inferno Overdrive, which is the fire type, and Hydro Vortex, which is the water type. So that's all I can say in regards to Z moves, and I think it's pretty cool that the way that it is, because the way that I understand it, there should be, in regards to things like this, when there are specific normal moves or whatever, that there would be this Mega Ultimate move that the characters can learn. So it's like, I think it's like about time that Pokemon have these particular concepts. So of course now I'm going to go into Island Trial Challenge. So first off, I want to make this real quick, and I do address this later, but I want to say the concept in of itself is fine. I have no problem with going and doing trials, defeating totem Pokemon, and defeating kahunas and everything that's going on. What I don't like is in regards to specific instances where this outright replaces Gym's Champion and Elite Four. Now, I don't want to quite go into my problems, because as I was writing my notes, I came up with a solution or whatever. So basically, here's what it is. Based on the information that we have, this is what it seems like. Defeating, from my initial perspective, this is what it looks like. Defeating all the Kunas suddenly makes you the champion. But despite that, based on current information, the trial captains are those that have defeated all the Kunas and completed their trial captain, or their trial challenge, and became their own island challenge champion or whatever. And that's why it made no sense in regards to that. But this video actually might be lesser than I thought, because I'm not going to go over all the problems that I had with it, but I'm thinking, what if I'm wrong in regards to what it seems like? What if it's something a little bit more different than I'm believing or whatever? And so therefore I'm led to believe that maybe we can hopefully get something like an inverse of the way that it works now. You know how we have 8 gym leaders, 4 Elite Four, and 1 champion. What I really would like to see is that what we get is the equivalent of 4 gym leaders, which are the kahunas, and then we have to defeat the island trial captains to actually defeat the actual island challenge champion to become the champion. And I feel like that would make sense. So it'd be like 4 to 8 to 16 Elite Four like trainers, and then of course the champion of the island challenge, island trial challenge, or island challenge champion, however you want to look at it like that. I'm just worried that the Alola region appears weaker, because based on what I'm seeing in regards to the island trial challenge, it does seem like the kahunas are the equivalent of the Elite Four, and the totem Pokemon are the gym leaders. And I don't like that right after you defeat the last kahuna, you immediately go up to the possibly island challenge champion and the things that I would believe the trial captains could not be, which explains why they did not possess the title of Island Challenge champion and why they're now trial captains, because they couldn't defeat that particular person, which would make a lot of sense or whatever. So yeah, my issue is the trial captains seem like they're just glorified NPCs that really don't do anything outside of telling you what to do. You have totem Pokemon that seem like they're gym leaders, and then you have these Kahunas, which basically are the equivalent of Elite Four, because once you defeat the last Kahuna, you immediately challenge the champion. Like Cynthia Diantha, that really doesn't make any sense, which is why I had a lot of problem with this, because this, while it was fun, I will give credit that it does seem like a fun idea, but everything. But my problem was it being an outright replacement. See, I don't mind innovation or whatever, or some changes or something like that. But my problem was the gyms, the Elite Four, and the champion was such a core mechanic within Game Freak games that outright replacing it with something like defeating the four Kahunas and their different strength, like obviously Hala, the melee Kahuna, is going to be weaker than the last Kahuna you have, and that wasn't the case with the Elite Fours, even though you could defeat them in order for some of the generations or whatever. They were technically supposed to be equal in strength, but still be a challenge or whatever. So it makes no sense that an Elite Four like Hala is the equivalent of a middle stage gym leader or whatever, and the last Kahuna is probably the lowest, weakest Elite Four type person, comparative person that you have, and then immediately after you defeat this champion, which may indeed be like an Elite Four member or a champion, but not really coming off as strong, which is why I would really like it if after you defeat all the Kunas, you have to go through the trial captains and battle them. Otherwise, battling them right now, I mean, there are type specialists, but it doesn't seem like you battle them during the Island Trial Challenge. Unless after you defeat the Kunas, you go back and beat them, because they've already defeated the Island Challenge, maybe losing to the Island Challenge champion, but they already defeated their Island Trial Challenge based on what they have. So they defeated the last Kahuna, which is why I don't understand why it would be the case that you immediately challenge the Island Challenge champion or whatever, which is why I have a problem with a lot of this. But if you go back and defeat the trial captains, get some sort of proof of defeating them, and then you battle the champion, then I feel like it'll be more like the games where you have the gym leaders, the Elite Four, and the champion. I mean, Alola region will still obviously seem weaker because the trial captains had to have beaten the Island Challenge, so it's not like they're Elite Four strength, they're just like the equivalent within the anime, because this is an anime reference, not a game reference. They come off as the challengers that got all their 8 badges and are able to compete in the Pokemon League, the anime exclusive, that the winner of that gets to go and challenge the Elite Four and the champion of the region. So of course that's particular it, and that's why I need more information to completely have, but I really have a problem with this. So of course, let's move on to a lot of the things. So let's go away from my personal opinion and let's just talk about the information that we do know. So I will discuss trial captains, Kahunas, and totem Pokemon, and hopefully we'll have a lot shorter video than I would have expected, because that as I was making these notes, I was like, okay, but now that I think about it, I'm like, no, I can make this shorter. So anyway, as I've said before, you have trials aided by trial captains that basically tell you what to do. Then you challenge these totem Pokemon at the end of each trial, which is again feels like a gym leader to me. When you defeat enough gym leaders, you have access to the equivalent of the Elite Four or the Kahunas. Beating the Elite Four equivalent allows you access to the next tier level of island, and so on and so forth until you defeat the last Kahuna. And maybe you get to challenge the strongest trainer. I don't know or whatever, but that seems to be what it seems to be the case. Now, some people will probably argue that it'd be wrong to compare the Kahunas to the Elite Four, and I can see your point, but keep in mind, if I compare to the gym leaders, look exactly what I'm saying here. You know, we defeat 4 gym leaders and then we immediately go into the champion, and that's it. Which is why I really have a problem with all of this. All right, so then of course let's go into the trial captains or whatever. So yeah, apologies. I thought I was going into discussing these particular things or whatever. So trial captains right now seem to be, as I've said, glorified things or whatever, NPC characters, non-playable characters, based on what I said. They just seem to be there telling you what to do. Maybe some of them you might battle, although that wouldn't make any sense since they are supposed to be stronger than Kahunas. But maybe I'm wrong, but that wouldn't make much sense, and the whole island challenge is just a big mess that was not explained too properly. That just thinking of it as a replacement is bad. But anyway, they tell you what to do, then you battle the totem Pokemon. But there are currently 4 known uh, trial captains. So of course we have Lana, the water type specialist, who has an older sister that watches over her younger sisters. The wording of that sentence is kind of hard to understand. I don't know if it blanket sweeps all younger sisters, which includes Lana, or just sisters that are younger than Lana, because Lana is a trial captain. Maybe she doesn't need to be watched over by her older sister. So it seems to be, if I'm understanding the sentence correctly, that Lana at least has 3 sisters, because it would just be younger sister. If it was excluding Lana, it would just say the older sister looks over her younger sister, um, not counting Lana. But if it includes Lana, then it's just 3 siblings altogether. But if it's excluding Lana, be 4 siblings, obviously, which is why I'm confused as to what the sentence actually means. So Sophocles, the electric type specialist inventor, because it's not like we could have perhaps gotten a female electric type trainer that likes to invent things or whatever. I guess I'm salty about this because right after Clement, and even though it's not really relevant to this particular video, I would really hate if Sophocles was a traveling companion slash main character of the Pokemon Sun and Moon, because not only would I not like it after Clement, his design is pretty meh to me, and he doesn't seem like something that should be in too many episodes, in my opinion. If you like Sophocles, whatever his name is, that's perfectly fine with me. So then, of course, I forgot to mention that there was one that I was saving for last, and it's probably obvious because there's one thing that I want to go over. Apologies for not mentioning that. But of course, we move on to Kiwi, whatever his name is pronounced. He's a fire type specialist with Marowak, as I've said it before in regards to my other video. He's a fire type specialist with Marowak, and I said that maybe Marowak could be an Alolan Pokemon, possibly. So then, of course, I saved one for last for one particular reason that I just want to quickly go over in this particular video. I won't go into much detail because I'll save it for a different video, but I want to go over it now. And of course, that's Malo, the grass type trainer who loves cooking but has a particular taste. Maybe that means that a lot of people just don't like her cooking or whatever. And the reason why I saved her for last is because Malo seems to confirm something, and of course I will show you an image over here. And it seems that in regards to one of these images, it seems that Malo's revelation, or the introduction to Malo within the August 1st trailer, seems to confirm that the 3 evolution starters' final evolved forms have been confirmed. And of course we have an archer, a wrestler, and a mermaid and siren. Because Malo was in Litton's final evolution starter possibility, and this image has been out for months before August 1st revealed Malo. So there has to be some credibility in regards to this. Now I will say that I am a little meh right now in regards to the final evolved starters, and I don't really like it all that much. But I just wanted to say that there is a rumor leak going on that makes me feel a lot more comfortable in regards to the final evolution starters, and that's the possibility that they in fact might evolve depending on the island, which might mean that there may be a total of 16, if I did that right, or no, 12 different fully evolved starters depending on the island it is. And and it also says this is in relation to Rockruff as well. And I think this would be interesting. It'd be cool if there were split evolutions for the final starter evolutions. Makes me think this would be a lot better. So then, of course, maybe that's what Rockruff and the final evolution starters have in common. But I will discuss more in relation to that in that rumor leak video that I will do. I will need some help in regards to that. If you're watching this, it would be nice if in the comment section below you gave me links to these rumors and things or whatever. Otherwise, I'm going to have to rely on like Pokemon Jungle or whatever, and some of those may indeed be fake. Of course, I will let you know that some of them might be fake, but I will discuss everything that I can in that particular video. So moving on to Totem Pokemon, away from all that information. Totem Pokemon are bigger and stronger than normal Pokemon of the same species. Smoothes? Well, I don't know what I was trying to say there. Gumshoes and Lurantis are confirmed to be Totem Pokemon of their particular trials, and of course that means that they're stronger and bigger than other species, wild species of that particular kind. Defeating all Totem Pokemon of an island presumably gains you access to the Kahuna of the island. Totem Pokemon, as I said, possess unique abilities that will boost their stats before battling. Like Totem Gumshoes can raise its defense because of its aura that it possesses. And of course, it can call allies within the battle. It is unknown completely what allies can be called upon, but based on Gumshoes, it seems that it's presumably something related to that particular Pokemon, like Yungoos for Gumshoes, Formantis for Lurantis, or whatever. And also, it was said that Totem Pokemon were chosen. Or no, those were the Kahunas, never mind. But I think the Guardians of the Islands did have something to do with the Totem Pokemon as well. So, of course, let's move on to the Kahunas. Kahunas are chosen by the Guardian of Island to govern their particular island. So, Hala, as I think I've implied before, is the Kahuna of the Mele Island, which means I partially suggested that he would have like some importance, and he appears to be like the governor or mayor of an island rather than the whole region. Defeating a Kahuna, which unlike I thought was like the whole Alola region, it's only for Mele Island. So defeating a Kahuna gives you access to a new island, with obvious exception to the last Kahuna, unless he gives you access to an artificial island. So defeating the last Kahuna opens the path to becoming the Island Challenge champion. What that means, as I probably said before, what it means or entails is currently unknown. But that's all we know, so I'm hoping that I'm wrong and we get to see some inverse like Elite Four gym leader thing, because that would make it a little bit better. Maybe there being 16 comparative Elite Four team members and 4 gym leaders. Well, that would be an amazing concept or whatever. So, of course, we come to the end of this particular video. So I have a Pokemon anime review coming up in regards to my videos. August 12th is coming up soon, so is Korokoro. So that's all I wanted to pretty much discuss in regards to August 1st in 3 different particular videos. So yeah, look forward to my videos with whatever video comes up next. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Dustin Benzel, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.